Alex was 24 years old and already tired of starting over. Every Sunday night followed the same routine. He would sit on his bed with his phone in his hand, scrolling through videos of successful people, fitness transformations, business advice, and motivational speeches. For a few minutes, he would feel inspired. His heart would beat faster. His mind would imagine a better future. His body would feel ready to change. He would open his notes app and write a new plan. Wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym, eat clean, work harder, read every night, sleep early. It always looked perfect. He would stare at the list and feel proud of himself. This time would be different. This time he was serious. Then Monday morning would come. The alarm would ring at 6 a.m. For a few seconds, Alex would open his eyes and stare at the ceiling, and then the voice would start. You slept late last night. You need more rest. You can start tomorrow. It's not a big deal. He would turn off the alarm and go back to sleep. When he woke up again, it was already 7:45. Panic would hit immediately. He would jump out of bed, rush to the bathroom, throw on his clothes, grab a coffee, and run out of the apartment. No gym, no morning routine, no progress. Just stress and regret. On the way to work, he would look out the bus window and promise himself again, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow never changed anything. At the office, Alex looked normal. He answered emails, he attended meetings, he finished his tasks. He laughed with coworkers and talked about weekend plans. Nobody could see what was happening inside him. Inside, he felt stuck. He watched other people grow while he stayed in the same place. His coworker Jason was getting promoted. Another coworker started a small online business. One of his friends lost weight and became confident. Everyone was moving forward. Alex felt like he was standing still. He tried many times to fix his life. He joined the gym 3 different times in 1 year. The first time lasted 2 weeks. The second time lasted 10 days. The third time lasted 4 days. Each time started with excitement and ended with silence. Books were the same. He bought self-improvement books and placed them neatly on his desk. The covers looked clean and new. Most of the pages were untouched. Sometimes he would read 10 pages and feel motivated. Then he would stop and never open the book again. Even small habits felt impossible. Drink more water, sleep earlier, wake up on time, exercise regularly. Nothing stayed consistent. Every week felt like a reset button. Every week ended with disappointment. One night, after a long and exhausting day, Alex came home and dropped his bag on the floor. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. He walked into the kitchen and saw dirty dishes in the sink, empty coffee cups on the table, clothes thrown on a chair, his gym bag sitting in the corner covered with dust. The room looked like a life that had stopped moving. He slowly sat on the floor and leaned against the wall. For the first time in a long time, he didn't turn on the TV. He didn't pick up his phone. He didn't play music. He just sat there in silence. And in that silence, a heavy feeling filled his chest. Not sadness, not anger, just deep frustration. He whispered quietly to himself, "Why can't I stay consistent with anything?" There was no answer, only silence. And that silence felt louder than any noise. For the first time, Alex stopped blaming time. He stopped blaming motivation. He stopped blaming stress. He looked at his own life honestly. The problem was not the world. The problem was him. He was the one breaking his promises. He was the one choosing comfort. He was the one restarting every week. That realization hurt more than anything, because it was true. And that night, Alex understood something simple but painful. If nothing changes, my life will look exactly the same 5 years from now. Same job, same habits, same excuses, same regrets. The thought scared him, really scared him. For the first time, he didn't write a new plan. He didn't watch motivational videos. He didn't promise anything. He just sat there and stared at the dark window and quietly said to himself, "Something has to change." The next morning, Alex woke up before his alarm. That had never happened before. He opened his eyes and looked at the clock. 5:58 a.m. The alarm was supposed to ring at 6. For a few seconds, he just stared at the ceiling, confused. Nothing special had happened. He didn't feel motivated. He didn't feel strong. He didn't feel like a new person. He just felt awake. Slowly, he sat up and placed his feet on the floor. The room was quiet, and the cold morning air touched his skin. His mind tried to start its usual conversation. "You can sleep a little more. It's still early. You deserve rest." But this time, Alex didn't respond. He simply stood up and walked to the bathroom. No debate, no negotiation, just movement. He washed his face, got dressed, and left the apartment. The streets were almost empty. A few cars passed by. The sky was still dark, slowly turning gray. It felt peaceful. He didn't go to the gym that morning. He just walked. 10 minutes, then 20, then 30. As he walked, something strange happened. His mind became quieter. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't thinking about failure, goals, or pressure. He was just walking. And in that quiet moment, he realized something simple. Change does not start with big actions. It starts with small movement. That morning walk became the first step. When he returned home, he made breakfast, took a shower, and went to work. Nothing dramatic happened, but the day felt different. Not better, just calmer. At the office, Jason noticed something. "You look different today," he said. Alex smiled slightly. "I woke up early." Jason nodded. "Good, keep doing that." That was it. No long speech, no motivation, just a simple sentence. Keep doing that. That evening, Alex went to the gym again. Not because he felt inspired, but because he wanted to continue the small movement he started in the morning. The workout was short, 20 minutes. Nothing impressive, but it was done. And that night, when Alex went to sleep, he felt something he had not felt in a long time. Peace. Not excitement, not pride, just quiet peace. For the first time, he didn't feel like he was starting over. He felt like he was moving forward. The first week was simple. Wake up early, walk or go to the gym, go to work, come home, sleep. No complicated plans, no pressure, just repetition. By the 5th day, Alex noticed something strange. Waking up early started to feel normal. Not easy, but normal. His body slowly adjusted. His mind complained less, and his days felt more organized. Before, he used to wake up late and rush through everything. Now he had time. Time to breathe, time to think, time to prepare. That small change started affecting everything. He began arriving at work earlier. He finished tasks faster. He felt less stressed. Jason noticed it again. "You're building momentum," he said one afternoon. Alex asked, "What does that mean?" Jason leaned back in his chair. "It means you were doing small things every day. Small things turn into habits. Habits turn into identity." Alex thought about that sentence all evening. Habits turn into identity. That night, he added one more rule. Read 10 pages before sleep. Nothing big, just 10 pages. The first book he picked was sitting on his desk for months. The pages felt stiff, like they had been waiting for him. He read slowly, 10 pages. Then he closed the book and went to sleep. The next night he did it again, 10 pages, then again and again. After a few days, reading stopped feeling like effort. It became part of the routine. Wake up, work, gym, read, sleep. Simple structure. One night while brushing his teeth, Alex looked at himself in the mirror. He didn't look different. Same face, same body. But something inside him felt stronger. He was no longer breaking promises every day. He was keeping them. And that small difference started building confidence. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence, the kind that grows slowly and stays. The second week was harder, much harder. The excitement disappeared. The newness faded. The routines started feeling heavy. One morning, the alarm rang and Alex felt exhausted. His body hurt. His head felt heavy. The bed felt warm and comfortable. His mind started talking again. "You need rest. Missing one day is fine. You can continue tomorrow." He almost listened. Almost. But then he remembered something Jason once said. Never break the chain. Alex sat up slowly. Every movement felt difficult. He wore his shoes and stepped outside. That morning he didn't go to the gym. He just walked for 10 minutes and came back. But he didn't skip. That was the difference. The next day it rained heavily. Cold wind, dark sky, empty streets. He didn't want to go outside, but he still did. 15 minutes at the gym, light workout, then home. Again, not perfect, but consistent. By the end of the second week, Alex understood something important. Consistency is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about showing up even when everything feels wrong. Some days you run, some days you walk, some days you crawl, but you keep moving. That realization changed the way he saw discipline. Discipline was not punishment. Discipline was protection. It protected him from his old habits. It protected him from laziness. It protected him from becoming the same person again. And slowly, Alex started trusting himself. That trust was more powerful than motivation. By the third week, people started noticing. His coworker Sarah asked him one morning, "Did you lose weight?" Alex laughed. "Maybe a little." Jason smiled from the side. Consistency shows. At home, his friends noticed it too. He stopped staying up late. He stopped wasting hours on his phone. He stopped complaining about life. Instead, he talked about progress, small progress. One evening, his friend Mark said, "You changed, man." Alex asked, "In what way?" Mark shrugged. "You're more focused, more calm, less stressed." Alex didn't know what to say, because the truth was simple. He was just following his routine, nothing special. But inside, something bigger was happening. His mind was becoming quieter. The constant self-doubt was slowly disappearing. Before, he used to question everything. Now, he just followed the system. Wake up, move, work, read, sleep, repeat, day after day. And with every repetition, his old habits became weaker. Scrolling for hours felt boring. Skipping the gym felt uncomfortable. Wasting time felt wrong. The system was reshaping his life, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet and steady way. One night while walking home, Alex realized something surprising. He no longer needed motivation. He just needed the next day. And that was the moment he understood. Discipline was becoming part of who he was. The fourth week tested Alex in a way he did not expect. It wasn't about waking up early anymore. It wasn't about going to the gym. It wasn't about reading or working. It was about life getting in the way. One Monday morning, Alex received a message from his manager asking him to come early to the office. A new project had arrived and the team was already under pressure. That meant longer hours, more stress, less rest. Old Alex would have used this as an excuse to stop everything. Too busy, too tired, too much work. But this time, something inside him was different. He woke up 30 minutes earlier than usual, not for the gym, not for a long walk, just to organize his day. He sat at the small table in his apartment with a cup of coffee and a notebook. He wrote 3 things: work, workout, sleep. Nothing else. No complicated plans, no extra goals, just the essentials.
That week, Alex worked nearly 10 hours a day. His body felt tired, his mind felt heavy, but every evening he still showed up at the gym. Some days it was only 15 minutes, some days it was just stretching, but he never skipped. And slowly, something powerful started building inside him: mental toughness. He was no longer waiting for the perfect conditions. He was working with whatever time and energy he had. One night, after finishing a late shift, he sat on the bus and looked around. Most people looked exhausted, scrolling their phones, complaining, waiting for the weekend. Alex was tired too, but he felt different, because even in a stressful week, he had stayed consistent. That realization gave him quiet confidence, not loud pride, just a calm feeling that said, "You are becoming stronger." By the second month, Alex's routine had become part of his life. Waking up early was automatic. Going to the gym felt normal. Reading before sleep felt natural. But something unexpected started happening. His mindset began to change. Before, he used to think about results all the time. When will I get fit? When will I earn more? When will my life change? Now, he stopped asking those questions. He focused only on the day in front of him. Just today. Wake up, work, train, read, sleep. Repeat. Day after day. And with every repetition, his old habits became weaker. Scrolling for hours felt boring. Skipping the gym felt uncomfortable. Wasting time felt wrong. The system was reshaping his life, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet and steady way. One night while walking home, Alex realized something surprising. He no longer needed motivation. He just needed the next day. And that was the moment he understood. Discipline was becoming part of who he was.
Jason continued, "Most people want fast results. You are building something slow and strong. That's why it works." Alex nodded slowly. For the first time, he understood the long-term game. Discipline was not about changing life in a week. It was about becoming a different person over time. And that person would naturally create a better life. That evening, Alex walked home thinking deeply. He realized that the biggest victory was not money or fitness. The biggest victory was control over himself. He could wake up when he wanted. He could work when he needed. He could move even when he was tired. That control felt powerful. It felt like freedom. 3 months later, Alex looked completely different. Not like a celebrity, not like a fitness model, but like a disciplined man. His posture was stronger, his face looked calmer, his eyes looked focused. At the office, his performance improved. He finished projects faster, he made fewer mistakes, he handled stress better. One day, his manager called him into the office. "We are giving you more responsibility," the manager said. Alex was surprised. "Why me?" The manager smiled. "Because you are consistent. You show up every day and get the work done. That matters." That moment felt unreal. For years, Alex thought success required talent or luck, but now he understood something simple. Consistency creates opportunities, not overnight, but slowly and surely. That evening, he walked home with a quiet smile. He didn't celebrate. He didn't post anything on social media. He just went to the gym, finished his workout, and went to sleep. Because discipline does not need applause. It just needs repetition. 6 months passed. Life became stable. Routine became normal. Discipline became identity. One evening, Alex met his old friends at a small restaurant. They talked, laughed, and shared stories. At some point, Mark looked at him and said, "Bro, you make us uncomfortable sometimes." Alex laughed. "Why?" Mark leaned forward. "Because you're always consistent. You wake up early, go to the gym, work hard, and stay focused.
It makes us realize how lazy we are. The table became quiet for a moment. Alex gently smiled. I'm not better than anyone. I just stopped lying to myself. That sentence stayed in the air. Stopped lying to myself. That was the truth. Discipline was not about being perfect. It was about being honest. Honest about time, honest about effort, honest about excuses. That night, when Alex returned home, he stood in front of the mirror again. 6 months ago, he was frustrated and lost. Now he was calm and focused. The difference was not huge actions. The difference was daily discipline. 1 year later, Alex woke up at 5:30 in the morning, like always. The city was still quiet. The sky was slowly turning orange. He stood near the window with a cup of coffee and looked outside. His apartment was cleaner. His body was stronger. His mind was calmer. But the biggest change was inside him. He trusted himself. He trusted his routine. He trusted his discipline. He trusted his actions. No more excuses. No more starting over every Monday. Just steady progress. At work, he was now leading small projects. At the gym, he was stronger than ever. In life, he felt in control. One morning, a new coworker asked him, "How do you stay so disciplined every day?" Alex smiled and gave a simple answer. "I stopped waiting to feel ready. I just started showing up." That was it. No secret, no magic, no shortcuts. Just showing up every day. Rain or sunshine, good mood or bad mood, energy or no energy. Show up. Because discipline is not about motivation. It is about commitment. Commitment to small actions, commitment to daily progress, commitment to becoming better. And when you do that long enough, something powerful happens. You stop fighting yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop restarting your life every week. You simply move forward, day by day, step by step, until one day people start looking at you differently, not because you are special, but because you stayed consistent when most people quit. And that is the moment when your discipline becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your future.